Average guys.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Ready?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Everyone, I'm Vic.
I'm Darren.
Okay, so welcome to Average Guy Finance.
Finance.
Okay, so we're going to introduce a book that I'm going through and that we've been interested in, and really how our mentor, Warren Buffett, he says it's the best book on finance that he's ever written. So
He's ever read.
yeah, I did it again.
He
yeah.
did it again.
Okay, yeah.
He basically could have written this book, but
Yeah, but so he worked with the author. So the author is Benjamin Graham.
Okay.
So Warren Buffett,
Mm-hmm.
who's one of the best investors ever,
Yeah.
worked under Benjamin Graham.
Okay.
So Benjamin Graham was Warren Buffett's mentor.
Right.
So this is the book. It was first written about, I think, in the 1940s,
Mm-hmm.
and there's been subsequent editions created.
Yeah.
So this one that we have right here, it's like a 1970s version, and then there's commentary by Jason Wigg, and he does more like present day commentary.
Yeah. So he relates the information in the book to the .com
Yeah.
bubble and burst and even 2008, right? Where
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So it's like it's really good because it's like it's an excellent book. I think like if you're getting into investing, and just like I think it like gets you into the proper mindset that you need for investing, right? Like maybe like not talking about like like different charts and like ratios and that kind of technical stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but like just knowing that like you have to have like the right mindset if you want to be a successful investor.
Yeah, it's almost like taking a philosophy course, right? Before you.
Before you go into life, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, cool. So, Jason Wigg basically he combines the whole book into three main points as like the base, like the thesis of the whole book.
Mm-hmm.
And he says that the number one thing, if you want to be a successful investor, is that you want to minimize the odds of suffering irreversible losses.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be putting money into an investment that's going to like tank 90% or just go to 0,
Mhm.
right? You want to like steadily be increasing your money. Like so the money that you have invested,
Mhm.
you want to make steady gains on it. You want to keep adding your own money into it,
Mhm.
but you don't want to suffer those losses that you're not ever going to come back from.
Now, because
Yeah.
nobody has a crystal ball, how do you do that?
So you would be make sure you're investing in companies that are making money, okay?
Mhm.
That they have income, that they're going to be making money in the future.
Mhm.
So like Warren Buffett, he talks about like a wide moat.
Okay.
Like you had a moat being like
Around your.
around your castle. There's like some water around the castles. Maybe there's like crocodiles and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
you want to have a company that has like a wide moat.
Okay.
So, for example, railways.
Okay.
Would be an example.
Railways. Okay, so why would
Yeah.
railways have a wide moat?
Because it's they're very integral and critical to the functioning of our economy, especially in Canada. Like
What?
we have CP Rail and CN Rail as the main railways,
Mhm.
right? And they're just vital for moving stuff around. We have a huge country, right?
Everything that we
Yeah.
buy at our stores gets to the store by truck, but first it comes by
Yeah.
rail. Okay.
And so as rails, and it's like very very difficult for another company to get into that industry.
That's true. Yeah.
So-
because it's been those two forever, right?
Yeah.
CN and Canadian.
So they have a wide moat.
Okay.
And you can maybe talk about like one of our major banks in Canada.
RBC.
RBC, like Royal Bank,
Yeah.
and like TD and BMO,
Right.
they'd have a wide moat,
Okay.
because it'd be near impossible for like another bank to get into like the top 5, and like, they have such a influence over our entire economy, right?
They do.
And they're in other countries too, RBC.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you would that's one way. You invest in companies that make sure they're making money. Hopefully they have a wide moat.
Mm-hmm.
Or you would invest in like index funds.
Okay.
So index funds is like when you're investing in the entire market. It's very hard to have irreversible losses. Whereas if you're in an index fund like the S&P 500,
Mhm.
right, or something that tracks the TSX, the
Mhm.
entire Toronto Stock Exchange,
Yeah.
you might have losses of 20, 30, even 40%, but those aren't irreversible because his history shows that the market comes back.
Right.
Yeah, but you're not going to be in a company like a single stock where you have an 80% loss and the stock just like stays there for 5 years.
Yeah.
Or the company just goes bankrupt and it's completely...
For that to happen with a company on the S&P 500, something catastrophic would have had to happen in the world, right? And
yeah.
So
For the entire S&P 500.
Yeah.
Like the 500 companies as a group. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like his history shows us that it just bad.
No, it
comes back.
It always comes back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So the second point.
Is that 20 minutes already?
Our lasagna's done.
Our lasagna is ready.
Yeah.
It's cheat day.
Yeah.
It's cheat day. We're eating, and we have lasagna in the oven.
And have some beers too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking to you about money and investing. And
So do you want to do the second point?
yeah,
Or we're going to do a jump cut?
do it.
Okay, so the second point is you want to maximize the chances of achieving sustainable gains. So I guess that kind of does go back into our other point, where it's like, so if you want to have steady gains of like 7, 8, 10%, 12%, maybe like 15%, like if you're able to consistently get returns of that range every single year, you're going to do really well.
Yeah.
Like over a 20, 30-year time horizon, right?
And those gains are not difficult to do, right?
No.
Like Vanguard, any of their
Yeah, so the index funds will have historically returned that.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're able to pick your spots and like with the value investing, like with the 2020 crash, and you're able to buy like solid companies at a discount who pay dividends, you know, you're going to do really well there because you're buying like a solid dividend company at a discount, and that company's not only going to like increase in value, like share price value, they're probably going to increase their dividends in the future too.
Right.
So like that initial investment, you're getting lots of like really good returns.
Right.
You're getting price appreciation and you're getting dividend.
Okay.
And it's not that risky, right? So that's how you get those sustainable gains. You don't have to go out, you know, like we were saying in our garbage stock video.
Yeah.
You don't have to hit for a home run with like
No.
you don't have to go for like a Lordstown or a Nikola.
Yeah.
And you know, and try to like hit a home run and,
Right.
and end up striking out really like
Right. Just you don't want to bet like when you're starting off with your nest egg basically, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to put it into something that's unproven.
Yeah, you want to get those steady gains.
Yeah.
And I guess that's good for psychology too, because if you're getting gains steadily, like it kind of like motivates you to like, okay, I'm going to put more money in.
Yeah.
You know, and that kind of stuff. That's how you grow your portfolio.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So the third point is you want to control self-defeating behavior.
Control self-defeating behavior.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that behavior that keeps most investors from reaching their full potential. So it's like, Sven Karlin, so like a guy that we both like.
Yeah, he makes
like,
really good videos.
Yeah.
You should look at some Sven Karlin videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's an economics professor, I think, based in the Netherlands. So he had an interesting chart, and he was showing that over the last 20 years, the S&P 500 has returned about 7.5%, and that's from the peak of the dot-com bubble to now.
Right. Yeah.
So if you had bought after the dot-com crash, you would have done way better. But anyway, but you're still doing solid, right? But the average investor, they only made about 2.9%.
Okay. Why did they make only 2.9%?
Because they're like the average investor, like there is fear.
Are they making too many moves?
Too many moves.
Too many
Like,
moves,
if they just like bought in,
right?
But it's also like the fear of like when the market goes up, they're afraid, like, oh, it's going up and there's going to be a crash, right? But when the market goes down, there's the fear of like it's going to keep going down and it's not going to go up again, right? So it's like, you know, I kind of equate it to like, I've had a lot of sports injuries.
Yes.
I've had ACL surgeries, right?
Okay.
So you get into that mode, like when stuff is bad, you can't, and you're in that surgery, right? And your foot's like, and your knee's like huge. It's hard to picture yourself walking again, right? So when markets are bad and they're tumbling, it's hard to picture stuff being good again. And, and like that psychology of like all that negativity, gets you down, and you fear, and you get scared, and you sell.
Okay.
And you sell at the worst time.
Yeah, which a lot of people do, and that's why they lost all their money in the market, right? They didn't stay in after.
Yeah.
Sorry, I jumped in, but yeah, go ahead.
And so they're missing points where they could buy instead of selling.
Right.
And often, like...
That's basically,
Yeah.
market crashes are Black Friday, right? For stocks. Yeah.
You want to be stampeding.
You want to be stampeding and buying
Yeah.
whatever you can during a market crash.
Get there at like 3 o'clock in the morning and like can't camp out.
Yeah.
But it's the other thing is, I guess, like when stuff is good, it's hard to picture like stuff going like being negative, and you might be too aggressive, right? And you're not guarding against when the markets could go down.
Yeah.
Right, so you're making like overly risky bets and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, when stuff is good, maybe that's what causes sports injuries,
Right?
Because you're
just too overconfident. You're making
Yeah.
moves that you wouldn't
yeah,
normally.
and you're just diving into tackles.
Yeah, right.
You're just like taking,
Yeah.
and then you get hurt, and you're not taking precautions. Maybe you're not stretching before the game or something like that, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it's like.
You think you think you're indestructible, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess what that third comment is, that point is making, is that it's not so much the numbers. It is like largely about the psychology. If you can control your psychology, like you can avoid making stupid mistakes. That really going to cost you, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
that's the lesson that I learned this year, definitely.
Yeah.
Like I learned a bunch of lessons this year. That was the big one
Yeah.
that I learned.
And it's like you can just be average investors and do better than people who are trying to be above average,
Yeah.
which is like, yeah.
You can be the turtle, right?
Yeah.
The tortoise and the hare. You can just be
The tortoise,
just go, just keep moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's like I was thinking about the tortoise and the hare. It's like, yeah, every single time the tortoise wins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Because the hare gets distracted. That's the thing. The distractions are what like foils people in the markets, right?
Right.
Because you might get distracted by like GameStop or AMC or like the next hot thing or like the Teslas and that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, but like so going back to Warren Buffett, that's one of the reasons why he purposely stayed out of New York and Wall Street, right? Because he said that when you're too close to the action like that, you have too many people in your ear whispering different things, and you can't really see things clearly. And that's why he stayed in Omaha and became who he became.
Because he just wanted to like be that Zen investor, just kind of like taking things in, but just like not having too much like outside influence on him.
Right. Yeah.
Correct. Because that was the introduction to Intelligent Investors. So we're just gonna keep reading through this and give you guys lots of good insights on like.
It's going to be a separate playlist. So the Intelligent Investor will be a series of videos that's just talking about the book.
Cool.
Yeah.
All
right.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you. We're going to go eat lasagna now.
Yeah.
See you.
Okay.
Bye.
Cheers.
To good investing.